Hello guys, welcome back once again to the one of the very important topic of cardiovascular physiology, which is the autonomic innervation of the heart. So in this particular session, we will explore how the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems regulate the heart rate, conduction velocity, contractility, relaxation, and even the excitability of the myocardium. So we will also define the critical terms that describe these influences like chronotropy, dromotropy, inotropy, lusitropy, bathmotropy. Okay, let's get started. So first let us discuss about key important definitions. What is chronotropy? Chronotropy is nothing but influence on heart rate. How fast heart beats, which is called as chronotropy. So chronotropy refers heart rate. So increase or decrease, whatever it may be, influence on heart rate. Positive chronotropy means increase in the heart rate. Negative chronotropy means decrease in the heart rate. So influence on the heart rate is called as chronotropy. What is dromotropy? So dromotropy refers to influence on the conductivity of the myocardium, meaning how quickly electrical impulses travel through the heart. It may be positive or negative. Next is the inotropy. Inotropy is nothing but influence on force of myocardial contraction. Again, there will be a positive inotropy, negative inotropy. That is increase in myocardial contraction or decrease in the myocardial contraction. Next is the lusitropy. Lusitropy meaning influence on rate of relaxation of the myocardium. And finally, Bathmotropy is the influence on the excitability of the myocardium, meaning how easily heart cells can be depolarized. So all these are the terms we need to know to understand the autonomic innervation of the heart. First, let me talk about sympathetic stimulation. Sympathetic nerves arrive from the cervical region and innervate both atria and ventricles. When the sympathetic system is active, think of fight and flight situations like epinephrine and norepinephrine bind to β₁-adrenergic receptors of the heart. So this triggers a cascade inside the cell. That is, whenever the receptors are activated, the GS protein activates the adenylyl cyclase, which boosts the cyclic AMP level. So cyclic AMP levels are increased. So there will be increased cyclic AMP enhances the opening of funny channels and L type of calcium channels in the SA node, causing more rapid depolarization and a higher heart rate, which is the positive chronotropy. Now I hope you have understood the mechanism of the positive chronotropy. And at the AV node, phosphorylation of the L type of calcium channels speeds the conduction, which means speeds the conduction means increase in the conduction velocity, so which is the positive dromotropy whenever the sympathetic system is activated. And in the cardiac muscle cells, right? So phosphorylation of the phospholambon protein fires up the Sarka pump to sequester the calcium faster, leading to quicker relaxation, which is the positive lusitropy. So, meanwhile, more calcium is released during systole, enhancing the contractile force, which is the positive inotropy. Right? All these effects, whatever you are seeing over here, are the sympathetic innervation to the heart or sympathetic activation on the like CVS or on the heart. What is the end result because of all this list, whatever you are seeing over here? The end result will be increase in the heart rate, increase in the conduction velocity, each contraction becomes stronger, and I told you that there will be a positive lusitropy, meaning ventricles relax more quickly between beats and perfect for times when the body needs more blood flow, right? This is where the sympathetic activity is predominantly important. So next is the parasympathetic innervation. So what is the effect of parasympathetic stimulation on the heart? So remember guys, on the other hand, the parasympathetic system, mainly via the vagus nerve, mostly impacts the SA and AV nodes when compared to other tissues of the heart, mainly impacts the SA and AV nodes. So what is the neurotransmitter here? Acetylcholine. So when acetylcholine is released, it binds to M2, that is muscarinic receptors, which are GI protein coupled. I stands for inhibitory. So which means this reduces the cyclic AMP levels. So whenever this happens, there will be decreased funny channel current. So there will be slower rate of phase 4 depolarization. So it takes longer to reach the threshold. Therefore, heart rate goes down, which meaning negative chronotropy, right? And there will be increased potassium conductance, meaning cells become more hyperpolarized, which makes them harder to depolarize and slows the conduction, especially the AV node, leading to a negative dromotropy, guys. So conduction velocity, the AV node will be drastically decreased. So mainly negative dromotropy is mainly the effect of parasympathetic nervous system on the AV node rather than SA node. So consequently, the parasympathetic action is the rest and digest mode. Sympathetic is the fight and flight mode. So the parasympathetic nervous system slows the heartbeat, reduces the conduction velocity, lowers the atrial contractility, right? So that's the reason extreme vagal stimulation can cause partial and complete AV block due to all these effects. So this is what you need to know about the sympathetic as well as parasympathetic innervation to the heart. Now, when we talk about the clinical link to this innervation, remember guys, when sympathetic activity remains high for longer period of time, such as in chronic stress, hypertension, or in heart failure, this can damage blood vessel endothelium and strain the heart, eventually raising the risk of heart attack and stroke. Initially, if the heart ejection fraction drops, the body tries to compensate with increased sympathetic tone and stimulation of the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, ADH release, Frank-Starling mechanism, all these will be activated. So these can temporarily boost the cardiac output, but prolonged activation actually increases the heart's workload, potentially leading to heart failure. So this is also you need to know about the effect of the sympathetic and parasympathetic innervation to the heart, mainly whenever there is a compensatory mechanisms come into place in diseased states. So that's the reason many antihypertensive medications aim to reduce the sympathetic effects, decrease the afterload, or block harmful neurohumoral cascade to protect the heart over the time, right? So by this, we have completed the autonomic innervation to the heart.